Tonight, a federal judge has just intervened to stop the Trump administration from deporting a Georgetown University fellow temporarily. Badar Khan Suri was arrested by federal agents on Monday night. Khan Suri is an Indian national in the U.S. legally on a visa and is married to an American citizen. But the administration is accusing him of, quote, actively spreading Hamas propaganda and of having close connections to a known or suspected terrorist. His family maintains he's done nothing wrong, and what we're hearing from Georgetown officials this evening is that they are unaware of him engaging in any illegal activity. His attorney, Hassan Ahmad, is my source, and thank you so much for being here. I understand you spoke to him last night. What does he have to say about all of this?
Well, thank you, first of all, for having me. And it's just a lot for him to take in. He has never had a brush with the law like this before, and now he's detained in southern Louisiana, and it's just very, very difficult. He's still fasting as an observant Muslim during Ramadan and trying to keep his spirits up, but it is very difficult. And he understands that he is a political prisoner. Those were his words, and he's grateful for the outpouring of support that he has received.
Have they told him of a crime that they believe he committed, or what reason did they offer to him? Did they say it was because he was spreading Hamas propaganda, as the administration is saying on Twitter tonight?
Nothing. They have told him nothing. The only thing that he has received is a notice to appear in immigration court with the same exact provision of law that was on the notice to appear given to Mahmoud Khalil.
And of course, he was not accused of a crime yet either. But the question here of where the DHS spokesperson said tonight that he is known of having close connections to a known or suspected terrorist. We looked into this. His father-in-law is a former Hamas spokesperson official. CNN cited him actually as that in the late 2000s. And his father-in-law told the New York Times this week that he left Hamas more than a decade ago. He said October 7th was a terrible error, he believed, in his view. What did he have to say about his father-in-law, or why he believes that could be part of the reason here?
As far as I'm aware, the only time he has met his father-in-law was when he asked for his daughter's hand in marriage. That's about the extent of his connection to his father-in-law.
So he's only met him one time?
Once or perhaps twice.
Okay, so you would say maybe a handful of times?
No, not even that. I'm only aware of one, possibly two times that he's met his father-in-law. So for the administration to say that it's a close ties to a known and suspected terrorist, well, where's the evidence? No administration official has put forth a shred of evidence that my client, Dr. Khan Suri, has been involved or is affiliated with any known or suspected terrorist.
And what about the claim that he was spreading Hamas propaganda, as the DHS spokesperson said tonight? How do you respond to that?
I think I would say that it's becoming, unfortunately, emblematic of this administration to conflate the acknowledgement of Palestinian humanity with Hamas propaganda.
Have you seen the post that they're referencing? Do you know what they're talking about here?
I don't know what they're talking about.
And so what's next for you here, with the judge weighing in saying you cannot deport him unless I issue a ruling to the contrary? What is next for you as his legal representation?
Well, we're fighting, of course, to get him released. This is a man who has extensive family ties to the United States. He's not has zero criminal record and is not currently being accused of any wrongdoing. So what was the reason to detain him? If they wanted to put him in removal proceedings, they could have easily done that by issuing him a notice to appear and letting him show up in court. But instead, they detained him. They sent him down 1,000 miles away, away from his family, away from his legal counsel, making it difficult for us to represent him. So we want him back here in Virginia, and we want him out of detention so that he can meaningfully respond and receive the due process that he and any American in this situation deserves.
And on the arrest, with the DHS officers showed up. We were told that they were brandishing weapons. What did he say about how that scene played out?
It was extremely nerve-wracking. It was extremely scary for both him and his wife. They were completely masked and did not initially identify themselves as to who they were and what they were there for. She could not see their faces. No one could see their faces. It was covered in some sort of tactical mask, and the only thing that was visible was their eyes. And they were all armed, and came in multiple cars with lots of people, as if they were coming to take away a dangerous individual. This is a scholar. This is a scholar who came to the United States and whose work has renowned work in the area of conflict resolution. In the area of conflict resolution, and our government is saying that his presence in the United States is bad for the United States foreign policy. And I just would respectfully submit that if that's what Marco Rubio is saying, then perhaps the problem is with him and with our government and not with my client.
Mr. Ahmad, please keep us updated on what happens next with your client. Thank you for taking the time to join me tonight.
Thanks for having me.